Good morning, y'all. And welcome to another speed paint. This time we are making Tuxedo mask. Darian, I don't remember his last name, Mamoru Chiba, however you wish to call him, from the hit series Sailor Moon as a Sonic the Hedgehog character. So originally when I made this list several years ago, like 2020, we were in pandemic lockdown of what animals would each Sailor Scout be. I was very confused and wasn't quite sure what to make Darian. I call him Darian. I understand some of you who are only watched the new dub or have read like that new translation of the manga, you're just like, Darian, his name is Mamo. And I'm like, I grew up with the Deke dub, and so to me he's Darian. I named a plush toy after this man. His name is Darian. And that's okay. We know who we're talking about. Tomato, tomato. But when I was having to like design Darian, I'm just like, I'm not gonna make him a rabbit just like Usagi. And so I'm like, what animal is Darian going to be? And so like, I'm looking up on the Sailor Moon wiki, going type, and he doesn't have a favorite animal listed. Jupiter's favorite animal is horse. That's why Jupiter's a horse. Mercury and Venus were both almost cats, but my sister told me to make Mercury a mouse because she's more shy. And so that's what happened with Mercury. Mars is a bird. She's a crow because her favorite birds are crows, and that's her favorite animal. So with Darian, I wasn't quite sure. So all I had was a zodiac sign. He's a Leo. So we have lion. That's an option. I was talking to two of my friends. My sister, who is a huge Sailor Moon fan, even bigger of a Sailor Moon fan than me. She's seen all the musicals. I'm pretty sure she's watched the whole of the live action series. Like, she sends me stage recordings of the musicals to watch with subtitles, which is awesome. I have yet to watch any of them in full. But she's that into Sailor Moon. She loves Sailor Moon. It sucks that she's allergic to gold. Most Sailor Moon jewelry isn't gold. So it means if I am going to get my sister Sailor Moon jewelry, I either have to make it myself or hopefully find the one random rare thing that's not gold. But she gave me, it was either owl or raccoon. And it was because he's always in the trees. And then my other friend, Matachi, he was just like, also you can see that I went with like standard cat ears and I redrew them to be more rounder to reflect the lion. And that happened. Luckily, sketch didn't take too long because I had done a pencil sketch here. But like my friend Matachi, he was just like, why not raccoon, I believe. One was raccoon, and I don't remember like the reason for it. It might be in the art ideas file. I did, however, I made a Patreon poll, I made a YouTube poll, I made a Tumblr poll. I don't know what's up with my Patreon supporters, but y'all are not voting in any of them polls. Even though, like, I make several posts like, hey, we have poll. But I guess they're not voting. So most of the votes came, I believe, from Tumblr, and Tumblr voted for lion. Because I remember in those polls, I put, like, the reasons my sister put, like, that my friends both gave me. And raccoon was also pretty low on the list. And I don't know why raccoon was picked. And this is me going, how do shoes look? And eventually I'm going to bring in my reference images of the shoes. Yeah, you can see. So I went online, Googled like men's dress shoe, took two images, I think from a Walmart or Target listing page of these shoes, and I was just struggling with laces. And you're gonna see me draw them, erase them, redraw them. They look pretty much the same and slightly different. Making sure the heel is there. So it's great. But happy Sonic June! How are we feeling? which character would you like to see me draw as a Sonic character? Now, it doesn't have to be a Sailor Moon character. It can be a Pokemon. I've done several Pokemon at this point. I think the only starter from Kanto I haven't done is Pikachu, because every time I try to draw a Pikachu, it's trouble. But if enough of you ask and put in Pikachu in the comment section, Pikachu will be the next one I do. I've done one Digimon. I did Gomamon. He is the Seal Digimon that's partnered with Joey in Digimon Adventure. I drew them as a Digimon, as a Sonic character. I've done Eevee, I've done Sylveon, and I've done Umbreon. So I have a couple of more evolutions to go through. I do have plans for I've done sketches of the Meowth as a Sonic character before. I believe those are only on Patreon, those sketches. I don't think I posted them anywhere else, because some of them I wasn't quite sure of, but I never did like an original final. I did a sketch of, it's the Peacock Miraculous user from Miraculous Ladybug. Felix is his name. I am not that big into Miraculous Ladybug, but my sister is obsessed. So I did some rough sketches of him for my sister because she put it in my ass box on Tumblr. So sometimes if you put stuff in like my Tumblr ass box for like silly doodles or whatnot, those silly doodles will be done during a couple of live streams, especially on like the days when I take a gummy and I'm like, I can't figure out what I want to draw. Yeah, I'm going through my Tumblr box. And then I had fun. So fun memories of Darien that I can recall. One, there's a panel clip of the voice actor, one of the voice actors for Tuxedo Mask. I believe there were 2 or 3 different Tuxedo Mask Darien voice actors in the original Deke dub. He said he was pretty sure that Tuxedo Mask was always late because he had to go to the flower shop to buy roses. I love that. I love that theory, and I am running with it. Yeah, you can see I spent a lot of time on these eyes, and then like his hair must be drawn. And it must look slightly floofier because lion shape is what we're going for. So that's one of the things I remember. So I mostly remember the Deke dub. And I remember because I rewatched all of the first season of the Deke dub recently. Darien showed actually no interest in Ray whatsoever, but Ray just kind of forced him and be like, hey, I like you, take me on a couple of dates. That's what like Ray did, and I found that interesting, and he just kind of like went with the flow. And I do remember, I think it's Heart Snatchers or the Dream season, Darien's house, his apartment is greatly damaged. Me struggling with capes, just the struggle of drawing capes, y'all. I was on the struggle bus, I swear. But I remember in like, it's like the Dream season or whatnot, and he has to stay at Ray's house. And Sailor Moon dresses up like a ninja and is trying to spy and see what they're up to. And Chad hates Darien. Chad's being a little bit passive aggressive to Darien because he figured out, oh, Ray used to date you and now you're staying in the house. And this is only so Darien can have his apartment fixed and like repaired. There's an episode in the Dream season, a couple of scenes in the Dream season, where like they're talking about Rini has a crush on a boy and like Darien's like overprotective dad instincts are like kicking in. And I'm just like, sir, you're in like college dating a middle schooler. That is something that always bothered me. I think in the English dub, for the OG English dub, I can't remember if Serena was in high school or middle school for the OG English dub. But they made it seem like Darien was in college and not high school. In the manga, he's 18 and Serena is 14. So there's 4 years between them, which is an acceptable age gap. It's just borderlining. Oh, this is me drawing the hat. Because I was just like, how do I hat? And so I decided tiny hat. I decided tiny top hat. That is what I decided while working on this. I was just like, how are we gonna hat? And this is me just coloring in things. So the hat and the mask are on separate layers and they're rendered separately. And this is me just coloring in the base. So there's a trick, like you want to color in everything you're going to work on, and then all the layers, like you'll put them in a group and you'll set them to where they can't color outside of these this base layer right here that you color in. And I actually did not use that trick for this. I set it up to do it, and I set it up to do it on a lot of my artwork now, and I just haven't. So this is me drawing in the rose, because I was just like, I don't really like the plain circle center, and so I was just like, let's put his rose here. I was also like, wait, what if I put like, so Darien has this star locket that Sailor Moon gets in the later half of the first season, and she gets to keep, and it plays that melody of the theme song. So I was just like, wait, what if I made the center of his bow that star locket? That's what's being drawn now, as I was looking at a picture of it. And I was like, oh, it's got like a clock face on it. And then there's some illustrations from the manga where he's got like this kind of like badge ribbon thing. And it's more prominent on his King Darien outfit, or King Endymion. Yeah. That word is hard for me to say. I just struggle with that. Darien's dark blue eyes, putting that in, adding some highlights to that. Make sure he's like all nice and pretty. Because like sometimes I'm just like, we're gonna start with the eyes because I like how the eyes look, and I tend to fuss with them. And then we come to the hair, and you can just see me going in and filling in all the gaps that the paint bucket tool did not put in. And this is me like, one, raising the opacity of all my reference images so I can grab like the highlight colors of his hair from the scenes. I actually, so this screenshot you can see of Sailor Moon with her wand, that's when she first gets that wand, which I think might be, that's not Heart Snatchers. I think that's season 2 with Rini. Or no, maybe I'm confused. No, I think that is the season 3 Heart Snatcher one. And I'm just misremembering, because I do struggle, because I feel like that she gets that with the cat monster for the little girl that's taking care of cats in the neighborhood. So yeah, that's season 3. That's the Heart Snatcher episode. My brain is like, has to work to remember. But also, how did y'all get introduced to Sailor Moon? So my introduction to Sailor Moon was, my sister and I were watching it on Toonami, and something our mom did that was really kind to us was that she recorded Sailor Moon off of Toonami onto VHSs, and she would put them in order on a single VHS tape with the commercials with the Tom bits left in. So my mom really liked the Tom robot, so she left those bits in for like commercial breaks and whatnot. And so my sister and I, we would just watch Sailor Moon constantly off these VHSs in our room. And so there's an episode in Sailor Moon where my sister and I, while watching it, we can tell you the exact point in time. It was 3 p.m. My dad came home and he pulled up the guide and went to look down at the sports channel. This detail on the shoelaces that nobody's ever gonna really notice when they see the full piece anyway. I don't know why I added it. I guess to make myself feel better. But you can see him pull up the guide in the VHS recording, go down to the sports channel, realize the TV is, like the VHS is on and recording, and then you see him go back to Toonami and close the TV guide. And my sister and I can tell you the exact spot in the exact episode that this happens, because every time we watch it, even with like the version So I downloaded a copy of the Deep Dub of Sailor Moon way back in, like, onto, like, a hard drive. When was this? This would have been, like, way back when I was, like, high school, so, like, 2009-ish. And I downloaded a copy of Sailor Moon onto my hard drive off the internet, and specifically the Deep Dub. And every time that episode comes on, like, because I burned them to DVD, to recordable DVDs for my sister so we could watch them together. And every time it would come on, we would go like, all right, here's Dad opening up the TV guide. And this is me just trying to figure out how to highlight his pants. His pants are very highlighted. Also, you'll notice Moonlight Knight is in the corner. He is also planned because, oddly enough, Tuxedo Mask, he's cool, but I prefer Moonlight Knight over Tuxedo Mask, even though Moonlight Knight is only for the Doomtree arc. Doomtree arc, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Doomtree arc is my second favorite arc. My first favorite is the Heart Snatcher arc, which is the arc with Hotaru, obviously. So let's rank or rate. Let's organize my favorite Sailor Moon arcs for story-wise, specifically for the Sailor Moon anime, the 90s version. So I love the Heart Snatcher arcs. That's first. Second would be the Doomtree. Third would be the Dream Mirror arc. Fourth, I would have to say, that leaves us with the Black Moon and the first arc, and then Stars. After Dream Mirror, I like the first arc, which is the Dark Kingdom with Zoisite, and then it would be Rini's introduction, which is the Black Moon, and then the last one would be Stars. I saw Stars last, so I just don't have, like, that much of a fondness for the Star arc. Like, it's cool, it's just, I don't like it as much as the other arcs, so sadly, Stars is my least favorite, like, story arc. But yeah, that would probably be my ranking of the arcs for Sailor Moon, and you can see colors. Also, notice how I forgot the tuft at the end of his tail, because Brain went stupid and went, he needs tail. So you're gonna see for the last couple of seconds that I had to paint in a tail. I just made another layer and didn't even ink it. I just painted it in, and so he's got like a white tail floof. And this, I'm pretty sure Krita crashed there. So I had to open it up and redo a bunch of work. And look, me painting in the tuft of his tail because silly me fucking forgot like a dum-dum. Which is fine. I'm actually considering, so Vogre's has temporary tattoos available that I can make custom-made temporary tattoos. However, that's also on the planning board for me. I am going to be making I'm going to be getting stickers made of all the Sailor Scouts that I have. And then I also have an art print, which is all Sailor Moon and the Inner Scouts together. I'm going to probably make one of Sailor Moon and this Tuxedo Mask together, and the Sonic designs I did. And I'll be printing those on postcards. But I'm going to be getting stickers made of, like, the characters I've drawn as Sonic characters. I'm going to be putting out polls, because the shop, I am still planning to open a physical shop. I'm going to push it back some more until after Sonic Expo. But be on the look for that. I'll be making a bunch of posts, and it'll all be pretty much on my Ko-fi. That's where it's planned to be. At this moment, I just need to get the P.O. box, which is going to cost me about, I think it's like $120 for a year. But here's the final, and you can see on the left-hand side is the Star Locket. On the right is going to be the Rose. And many thanks to my Patreon and Ko-fi supporters. Let me go ahead and read your names. TwdTeacakes, Axel1154, Kaleidoscope Chick, Cassy G, Jdsj, Axel Alcaraz, Pizaneneene, Camilla, Rojas, Kara Quinn, SemiRandomSevens, and Micah. You're all awesome. Please let me know what character you guys would like to see me draw as a Sonic character next. I'm also looking into possibly drawing people's pets as Sonic characters as well. That's something I kind of want to do. Thank you very much for being here for Sonic June. I hope you enjoy the rest of the content that's going to be made and all the silly videos and the voice acting and everything else. I will be at Sonic Expo from August 7th to August 8th. August 9th. I did get accepted to one of the Sonic Expo programs. I don't know if I can say which one, but your girl is excited. I'll be taking part in the cosplay showcase in a Pirate Tales, Sales Tales from Sonic Prime cosplay, so come by and see me. I'll have my art printed as postcards. I have a Manic and Shadow comic that is printed physically that I will hand you. I am still writing my short stories under the series Cute Fluffy Gay Shit that you can find on my Ko-fi, my Itch.io, I post them also on Amazon Books and Google Play Books. You can get them there if you like short stories that are cute, fluffy, and adorable. They cost about $1 each. I get like 20 to 50 cents of it. Specifically if you get it from Amazon and Google. If you get Ko-fi and Itch.io, I don't know the exact product margins I get. And then once I have the physical shop, I'll be printing them out physically, like on printer paper and stapling together and selling them that way so you can have like a physical copy of them, because they're not long enough for Amazon's printing on demand service at the moment. But thank you all so much for being here. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm still not monetized on YouTube. I lack the watch time. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to handle YouTube's algorithm. At this point, I don't think I'll ever be monetized on YouTube. Who knows? Have a great day. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. I'll see you at Sonic Expo Atlanta if you are there, August 7th through August 9th, 2026. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye!